Welcome back to AFAX #1 Stop to Entertainment and Trending News. The Australian Prosecution Service withdrew the murder charge preferred against Quincy Timberlake, the husband to former KTN News anchor Esther Arunga, after he pleaded guilty to the crime in which he had been accused of taking the life of his 3-year-old son in 2014. Timberlake was expected to stand trial in the Brisbane Supreme Court this week, but will now avoid going to trial after the judge-only trial was vacated. Consequently, he is now scheduled to be sentenced on September 29th after the prosecutor, Caitlin Penfold, accepted the guilty plea to manslaughter in the Brisbane Supreme Court. The punishment for manslaughter in Australia carries a maximum penalty of 25 years imprisonment in the Supreme Court. Whether Timberlake will receive the full 25-year sentence remains uncertain due to his diagnosis of psychosis and schizophrenia during pretrial discussions. Further, he has already served nearly a decade in prison following his arrest 3 months after his son's tragic passing. Following their son's death, Timberlake and his wife Esther Arunga initially claimed that their son had fallen down the stairs. However, when conflicting information emerged from the emergency services, Arunga changed her statement and admitted that her son had been struck in the stomach and thrown against the wall by his father. Subsequently, Arunga was convicted of being an accessory to manslaughter while her husband faced a murder charge. She was handed a 10-month prison term but immediately freed on parole. During investigations, there was no evidence that Arunga ever hurt her son. It was during this period that Timberlake disclosed his motive for harming his son, asserting that he believed the child was possessed by aliens residing within his stomach. Timberlake moved his family to Australia after a failed attempt to mount a presidential campaign in 2010. Besides that, there was a lot that was happening during that time, family and the Sikh asylum in Australia. I did a very detailed video when it comes to Esther Arunga, and I'll link it because in there we really get into what happened at that time, her career, and of course where we are right now. So please check it out for more details. Also, this story really affected many people. He walked out of his marriage, left his wife, the children, with no explanation whatsoever. His wife Mweni passed away last year, March 2022, and she had depression and other health complications. He was forced to raise her children alone, and last month we got to hear that the children were not faring okay, and Kenyans actually raised over 500,000 Kenya shillings just last month of August, because the children were left alone to fend for themselves. Their father imprisoned in Australia, their mother gone. And I saw an update, was it yesterday or a day before yesterday? One of her sons actually got into aviation. So the future is really looking bright for those kids, thanks to Kenyans who came in and stepped in and raised funds to help these boys. As I mentioned earlier, the sentencing of Quincy Timberlake will be late this month, so definitely I'll bring you guys that update as to how that will go. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to be notified of any new uploads. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.